This is Ford Field in Detroit, home of the Lions. Today they meet the Browns. Don Criqui with Randy Cross. Browns have won the toss, and they'll take the ball to start the game. Jason Hansen, the veteran kicker in his 18th year out of Washington State, ready to kick it off for the Lions. And there's Joshua Cribbs. There was some concern, as you know well, Randy, after he was hit late Monday night, that he wouldn't be ready today, but there he is, ready to go. A guy who's run back 6 kickoffs in his career for touchdowns. A short spinning kick. Cribbs gets it, and upfield they go. But the dilemma of the Browns quarterbacks, not enough time to get the ball downfield. They had no points Monday night despite a good defensive effort against Baltimore. They go right at the Lions, and the hard running Jamal Lewis. And players down now. Looks like William James covering the kick for the Lions. We'll be back after this. Back in Detroit, William James of the Lions shaken up covering the opening kickoff. Seems to be much better now, but he's on the bench as the Browns go second and 4 where the ball is located after the run to start the game by Jamal Lewis. Quinn with a long count, looking to throw downfield. He does. Long ball right on target across the 50-yard line. So the Browns hit deep. Massaquoi, rookie, makes the big play. A good throw by Quinn, a 24-yard gain.
Beautiful high and outside backside shoulder throw by Brady Quinn. Philip Buchanan trying to get the coverage, trying to run down the field with Massaquoi, but the ball thrown short and behind the receiver. Nice throw by Quinn. Good coordination.
And back to first down and back to the run. And Jamal Lewis, the 10-year veteran from Tennessee, from Western Michigan. He's been terrific as a rookie starter. Back to the run again on second down and about 6. And they work the big guy, Jamal Lewis. He's taken down by defensive back Kevin Hobbs.
Well, you look at this offense for Cleveland and what they've done. This no huddle gave Baltimore a little bit of a problem last week when they decided, you know, don't hurry. But with this no huddle, it does limit substitutions, let you dictate the coverage a little bit.
And here we go, Randy, with a third down now for Quinn and the Browns offense. They need 5. Out pattern, connection made, first down made also. Chancey Stuckey is knocked out of bounds by a former Brown, Anthony Henry. But the Browns drive on, looking sharp in this opening drive.
Well, you saw that job, Chancey Stuckey in the short motion towards the center, turns right around, comes back to the outside. Zone coverage, no one up close enough, just an easy little pitch and catch for Quinn. And a first down, and this is about as much continuity as I've seen out of this Cleveland Brown offense.
Yeah, one of their better drives. Opening drive of the game after the Lions kicked off. Again, they go to a gap run, and Jamal Lewis doesn't get a whole lot. Big Lion defensive front.
We got a Lion down on an injury, and a lot of that goes back to the coordination at quarterback, the lack of a quarterback. You heard Boomer rant on about that in the pregame show, the emphasis on the quarterback and how they haven't had a guy. It's weird to think that Matthew Stafford and Brady Quinn, though, Don, have the same amount of starts. Brady Quinn in his 3rd year in the league, Matthew Stafford just getting through the first half of his season. I really don't know how much the Cleveland Browns really know about Brady Quinn. Giving him a chance now to get these reps in, I think, is very important. Last year when he got hurt and broke that finger, it really short-circuited a lot of their plans with Cleveland.
Well, as he said, you know, he was humbled early in his career at Notre Dame, ended up as the Maxwell Award winner. He was humbled early in his career with the Browns, and he's looking for better things. Big Joe Cohen from Florida shaken up on that play, interior defensive lineman. So the Browns have advanced the ball now down to the Lions' 31-yard line with second down coming up, and they'll need 8.
When you see Gaines, number 86, in the game, and he's in the backfield, he's in as a short motion, almost like an extra pulling guard for this offense for Cleveland.
Here's Quinn in the shotgun now. Quinn, a big, physically very strong, 6'3", 235.
Little change up, little audible. Protection moves left.
They send blitzes. Then rolling out, fires downfield, and does well just to get the ball away. Gunther Cunningham, the defensive coordinator for the Lions, has 60 blitzes in his playbook. There's one of them.
Well, and that was a big stunt, too. Clint Averill starting at the right defensive end spot. He comes right through pretty clean. Dwayne White was starting over at that left defensive or right defensive end spot, and he's inactive today for Detroit.
Averill went after Quinn for 3 straight years when Averill's at Purdue. There's Gunther Cunningham. He loves the blitz, and now 3rd down coming out. 3rd down and a long 7, almost 8. Browns with 5 receivers in an open backfield.
Yep, they had Brady Quinn hesitating. They were showing the blitz. They were bringing the blitz, and he gets caught. The play clock expires.
Terry McCauley, our referee. So now the dilemma gets deeper. 3rd down and almost 13.
This is probably a little bit further than Dawson's going to be effective, so I'm not sure if you don't go twice from this area of the field, 36-yard line.
Here is Quinn, gets a little time, out pattern, nicely done, and another ball going to the far outside of Massaquoi. He is going to be short of the 1st down by about a yard. More than a yard, too.
Again, Buchanan's off Massaquoi pretty good. They're showing the blitz. They give a fire zone, and the zone is on the outside, too, and Buchanan that far off. He doesn't give up enough for the 1st down, but he gives enough to get Cleveland's field goal team on the field, and Phil Dawson a chance to kick this.
Phil Dawson, a 44-yard attempt. He missed 5 games this year with a leg injury, but back in good health. Snap and set down, good ball is powered down and through. And the Browns, who were shut out Monday night at home by the Ravens, get points on their first possession. They take a 3-0 lead. A 44-yard field goal by Cleveland's Phil Dawson opens the scoring. 9-play drive. Quinn with 3 of 4 throwing the ball for 40 yards on the drive. And now the Browns kick off. Ball hit hard downfield. And here it comes back. Aaron Brown turns out wide and gets out to the 20-yard line. And that's where the Lions will start an offense for the first time today. He can really gun the ball.
Nobody sacks you in practice, though, Don.
That's right. That's it. Right now, the first throw was a little timing throw on the flat and a huge gain. Look at this. This could go. Kevin Smith is inside the 20 and all the way down to the 16-yard line. Rodney Poole saves a touchdown. And on their opening play from scrimmage, the Lions hit a 64-yard pass play.
Well, Kevin Smith lines up in the backfield, and watch him just come through here on the fake. And when he does come through, no one is with him. The entire defense bites and shifts. When they bite, then they all shift away. There's no one on Kevin Smith. Getting a nice job downfield by Calvin Johnson, blocking-wise, too.
Now the Lions go to the run. Maurice Morris runs the ball. Averaging 3.8 a carry this season, an 8-year veteran out of Oregon, stopped by Mayava, a rookie inside linebacker for the Cleveland Browns from Southern California, 4th-round draft choice.
Detroit bringing out a little no huddle of their own to try to limit Cleveland on what they can do and what they can do with substitutions.
Let's see what they do here with 3 wideouts in the game. 1 runner behind Stafford. Stafford 54% completions in his rookie season. And Morris trying to cut back, doesn't get much.
Down here in the red zone, Don, Pettigrew and Johnson, both huge weapons with their size and ability to jump.
Well, they are big targets. And right now, Stafford's looking at him. Almost a pick. They were looking at Calvin Johnson down at the 11-yard line. And Rodney Poole makes a big play and knocks it down. Almost got it.
That was an excellent job by Cleveland. Just staying little zone underneath. Rodney Poole reacting quickly. And that plays into the Cleveland advantage. When you're not going to use your size, you're not going to go into the end zone, let your guys go up after it. A lot of crossing underneath. No confusion out of Cleveland. Doesn't give you much of a chance.
And now getting a chance to put points on the board for the Lions is their kicker, Jason Hansen. On the way and through, and we're tied up at 3-all. 5 plays, 68 yards, almost all of it coming on the opening pass play, and then the 31-yard field goal by Hansen to tie the game at 3-all.
Well, what a nice play by Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator, sitting on the bench there with Matthew Stafford with that quick little dump-off screen to Smith on the first play.
If they want any part of Josh Cribbs, as they kick short, ball is bobbled, picked up, and the Browns have a good return out to cross the 40-yard line. Lawson brings it back.
You want to keep the ball away from Cribbs. Cribbs returned a kickoff for a touchdown in the preseason that was called back, and then a punt later in the same preseason game that was returned for a touchdown. They have a healthy respect for what he can do with the ball in air.
Yeah, they should. In his career, he has 8 kick returns for touchdowns, 6 on kickoffs, 2 on punts. Josh Cribbs. 1st and 10, Browns. Quinn play fake, looking deep. There's the long ball, a big arm and an open receiver. And the Browns are in the end zone with a sensational throw to Massaquoi. Man, they couldn't get the ball downfield Monday night. They are doing it today. A 59-yard scoring play.
Well, Massaquoi was working inside against Philip Buchanan. A little coordination problem between he and Coach Simpson at safety. This team's had 5 touchdowns the entire season. In fact, 5 touchdowns the last 15 games, making it look easy right now against Detroit. Massaquoi and Matthew Stafford, or Brady Quinn, just have it going on working against Buchanan and Simpson.
And as you know, Randy, Massaquoi, a very close friend of the Lions quarterback, Matthew Stafford. They played together at Georgia. So Massaquoi, a big play, his first touchdown reception in the NFL.
They've already got more points than they're averaging coming into this game.
That's
for
right.
An entire game.
That is the truth. We're back to Ford Field in Detroit, where the Browns make it happen fast on their second possession. A one-play 59-yard drive to Brady Quinn to Muhammad Massaquoi touchdown pass, and the Browns have a 10-3 lead. Now they kick off again, a high spinning kick from the 8. And a hard hit. Brown out at the 22-yard line, got to about the 24. Stands there with another special teams tackle.
There's Massaquoi, there's Buchanan, there's Simpson. Pay particular attention right here to what happens with Philip Buchanan. He's kind of peeking in the backfield. He goes to get a jam on Massaquoi, and as he's peeking, he misses. Simpson never gets over to even to half the field. It looked like it was some sort of 3-man coverage with a single man high.
Wow. So the Browns hit a rare big scoring pass play this season. And now the handoff goes to Kevin Smith, the guy that they really feel has the potential to be an outstanding go-to back.
Yeah, the problem with going against this Cleveland running game is inside you've got, you know, not only Sean Rogers, but Bowens is inside as that inside linebacker. Maeva's in there too, who's playing so well. Bowens is kind of the new brain of the defense at linebacker since they lost
Jackson.
Yeah, and Eric Barton. Eric Barton was calling all the defenses. And now it's got to be a guy like Bowens who did that last year at the Jets for Mangini.
They made him a co-captain because he's calling the defensive signals. They go back to Kevin Smith, the Lions, on a 2nd and 9 play. He got about 4 out to the 31-yard line, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 now for Matthew Stafford and the Lions offense.
And without huddling, again, it's limiting the substitutions a little bit, and it's not a bad thing to get in 3rd and short. 3rd and 4.
Out pattern, incomplete. Ball comes in high. Dennis Northcutt, a former Brown, he was their 2nd-round pick back in 2000. A little high for him, and so the Lions stall on their 2nd possession and have to punt.
And Brandon McDonald just poaching back and waiting for Northcutt. Just, you know, what's for lunch? Ribs. That's all he's looking at, and he was in front of the 1st down marker. That play never had a chance.
So into punt is Nick Harris. It's a high one, a spiral, directional punt to the far sideline. Beautifully done. Don Criqui with Randy Cross back at Ford Field in Detroit. The 59-yard touchdown pass was the Browns' longest pass play of the season, the longest play of any kind, and the longest of Brady Quinn's career as a pro. Running hard, he always does, is Jamal Lewis, 245-pounder. The Browns already with 10 points, more than they average a game. Look at that. They're under 9 points a game for the season coming into this.
And this is since 1950.
Wow.
This is the fewest in a season per game. So this is a kind of area that they're not used to being out in front. If they were a sled dog team, they're not used to this kind of fresh air. Their view is usually a little bit different.
Yeah. When you're the lead dog of a sled dog team, the scenery never changes. And here is a throw over the middle and a good defensive play by the Lions.
Well, you talked about Gunther Cunningham loving the blitz. He brings a corner blitz on this play. Blitzing inside a little bit to get the attention. The corner blitz coming off the edge. That's just great coordination and foot. The linebacker, 55, cleans up the scraps inside on the attempted screen.
That brings up a third down and just over 10. 11 yards needed. A shotgun snap to Quinn. Lions coming. Quinn dumps it off nicely. And a very good move upfield with the ball. As Jamal Lewis makes the catch, and on 3rd and 11, the pass play goes for 13 yards and a Browns first down.
Well, DeAndre Levy misses the tackle. And when DeAndre Levy misses this tackle, he's the first guy. The first guy misses the tackle, you're going to give up a first down. I would love to know the percentages that happens, but Levy missing that tackle almost guaranteed Jamal Lewis a first down.
They really like Levy. Unfortunately, he's everything you'd want in a linebacker. Cover like a defensive back. Right now, a handoff and the run to Chris Jennings. Rookie from Arizona, putting the Jets on. And the Browns break another first down play. Poe Simpson knocking him out of bounds, but he does it 16 yards downfield.
Nice job on that left side. Look at him crease it out. Jamal Lewis gets himself a nice little block. Wasn't exactly a form block you'd use in a clinic, but it was all they needed to get that edge. Hey, remember, Levy is starting for Ernie Sims, a pretty good little linebacker in himself for the Detroit Lions.
Ernie's out with a hamstring problem.
Well, again, the Wildcat, and when Cribbs gets in there, he runs that thing very, very, very effectively. I'm surprised they don't run it more often. In fact, as successful as he's been inside when he gets at the quarterback in that Wildcat look.
Well, he, of course, was a quarterback at Kent State.
Now he stays in the game up top as a wide receiver, Don.
He can do everything.
There he is. There's Cribbs. They use him when he gets in the game usually.
Stretch play, nothing up front. And look at Jennings somehow find his way when he seemingly was going to be knocked down for a 3-yard loss. Jason Hunter finally runs him down from the defensive end position.
You know, I've got all the respect in the world for an Adrian Peterson who came in here and from Minnesota and broke a lot of tackles. But if I was a running back like Jennings, I'd watch that tape and I'd say, hey, you know, these guys grab a lot. And if they're going to grab a lot, I'm going to take advantage of it. He just didn't stop. I don't think his knee hit the ground there, did it?
Didn't look like it.
The only thing it looked like he hit was the Detroit Lion on the ground. That was great want to and great keep going.
Red flag is out, though.
But the runner was down like contact. Timeout.
Only thing I saw hit was putting his hand down on the ground.
Randy Cross, as we looked during the timeout with some of the replays, looked like his knee was down.
Yeah, at first I thought it came down on Averill 92 right there. Watch his left knee right on the ground right there. That is clearly down and is about the 41, 42-yard line.
The runner was down at the 40.5-yard line in possession. The ball we placed there, 3rd down and 6.5. Detroit is not charged with a timeout.
So a good red flag throw for the review of the play by Jim Schwartz. The guy we talked to Calvin Johnson about, we'll watch this again now. It's very clear that he is down.
That left knee just comes down right there on the ground. You can see that was clearly down. Good call by the officials.
Yes, Calvin Johnson, what do you like about your new coach, Jim Schwartz? He says he has a don't back down attitude. We like that. Here is Brady Quinn lofting a long ball, an open receiver again, another touchdown for the Browns. Chancey Stuckey, as Brady Quinn with the long balls is lighting it up in Detroit. That was a 40-yard score.
Boy, William James, who was out of the game earlier with a little stinger trying to tackle Jamal Lewis, trails the entire way. Took a little bite on that play action pump. Chancey Stuckey wide open. And this is uncharted territory for this passing game. They're going to go off on somebody eventually, I guess. But I don't know if Detroit's got much of an excuse as a defense for giving up these kind of huge chunks. That's just a lack of discipline.
Stuckey, one of the guys that came in from the New York Jets, where he played for Mangini last year. And the extra point is up and good. If you just joined us, that is correct. The Browns with 17 first quarter points during this season so far through the first 9 games. They've averaged under 9 points a game, but Brady Quinn had a phenomenal start. 7 of 8 throwing the ball for 147 yards and 2 long touchdowns.
And they've already doubled up their normal point allotment for the day. Cleveland has, and they've really done it on the big plays. The last one, it was a man coverage, which was really inexcusable as far behind James as Chancey Stuckey got.
Directional kick, and they kick it to an up back, trying to keep it away from the good returners. Like Follett ran it back.
There's Stuckey, there's James. Watch, there's no help back here. There's free in the middle. This is manned up across the top. They're just playing quarters up. Chancey Stuckey just puts it in about 4th gear and leaves James somewhere in 2nd gear looking for the clutch.
Well, he does have a burst and a change of speeds. A 3rd-year player from Clemson, Chancey Stuckey. Now under center is Matt Stafford, who needs to make some big plays, and here comes a blitz. A big one, and Stafford is he is picked off. Browns come up with the ball. Beautifully done. Eric Wright running it all the way back. And he's not done. Eric Wright taking it all the way back inside the 20. And finally, down he goes, but what a play. The Lions fans are actually cheering the Browns at this point.
I'm not sure if
a lot of Browns fans, too.
I'm not sure if Jeff Bacchus, who made the tackle right there, didn't get a little face mask on Eric Wright.
Unnecessary roughness, passing the team, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Wasn't a face mask. He grabbed the helmet's opening, used it as a tackle. 40-yard return by Eric Wright. Beautiful catch. He talks about his speed. Every time you talk to this young man, eventually in your conversation, he's going to tell you how fast he is. And I think he's got everybody in Detroit convinced that he's got some pretty good wheels. And watch back as 76 grabbed the part of the helmet. Didn't get the face mask, but grabbed the opening of the helmet. And that was the personal foul that moved it down to the 6.
And when you asked him, Randy, about giving away so much size, trying to defend people like the tremendous wide receiver Calvin Johnson, he said he looks forward to challenges like that.
He says, I'm not growing between now and tomorrow either.
Browns go to the run. 2 arms on the ball. Jamal Lewis pounds straight ahead inside the 5 on a 1st and goal carry. Sammy Lee Hill on the stop.
Well, keep in mind what we told you about these Cleveland Browns. They weren't scoring many points. First 9 games in the first quarter, they had 9 points. 9 games. That is not a typo. They were averaging a point a game in the first quarter. 17 right now.
I don't think, Randy, they're done scoring in the first quarter today, as they have it 2nd and goal now at the 4-yard line of the Lions. Power set. Play fake. Quinn looks into the end zone. Touchdown Cleveland. Brady Quinn with 3 touchdown throws in the first quarter. Josh Cribbs on the payoff end.
Well, that was a pass pattern that just required protection, and man, did Brady Quinn get protection, because Josh Cribbs lined up on the right side in a wing type position in tight, and he drug all the way across the field, and you saw Brady Quinn able to just stand in at quarterback, wait, pat the ball, and then deliver a strike to Josh Cribbs.
Brady Quinn goes to that cap, even indoors, between curtains on the field, and now the extra point is hit up and good. And the Cleveland Browns, with an unlikely score, extend now to a 24-3 lead over the Lions at Detroit. 2:52 still to be played in the first quarter.
Well, watch the protection and the calm of Brady Quinn in the pocket, and laid across the back of the end zone. There's Josh Cribbs. He had the protection, And he had very nice accuracy. Watch the inside. Mack and company inside do a real nice job of giving Brady Quinn an area not only to look but also to step up into.
And what kind of a day is Brady Quinn having? He's hit 8 of 9 passes for 151 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. Guy grew up wanting to play for the Cleveland Browns outside of Columbus, Ohio.
Their average on the season, 116 yards a game. And this quarter, they've got that kind of numbers. And in case you're curious and you did tune in Monday night, yes, this is the same Cleveland Browns. They didn't leave pods under everybody's beds, and there's not some space team now playing in Cleveland. This is the same football team that's getting the breaks, not making the mistakes. And right now, Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions on both sides of the ball are making mistakes.
Well, the Lions will get it again, and Stafford now pretty much forced into throwing the ball downfield early as the game is to get back in this. Good return. Aaron Brown all the way out across the 45, across the 50. Our penalty marker is down, and now a second. Back at the 32-yard line of the Lions.
Yeah, you're going to have a few blocks in the backs, I think, or holdings.
Receiving team number 84. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That wipes out a 57-yard kickoff return. Some beautiful coordination, and they really took advantage of Cleveland getting out of position. But one bad block brings it all back and puts Matthew Stafford in this offense on their own 22-yard line.
Aaron Brown, a rookie from TCU. But now they are set back to their 22. 1st and 10 for the Lions. Jim Schwartz and his team, a big hole to dig out of as the Browns have really opened it up in the first quarter. The most sensational quarter maybe in some years.
Well, you can't score 21 at a time, so just calm down and be efficient if you're Matthew Stafford.
And there's a nice timing throw over the middle on a crossing pattern. Brandon Pettigrew, the tight end. 6'6", 265 pounds, knocking people down in a 29-yard gain. So a good game by the Lions, and they're across midfield. 30-yard gain.
I like the look of this no huddle for Detroit. It's giving Cleveland a few problems with these big plays.
There's a gaping hole, and on the run is Kevin Smith. And he has a first down.
JB, those quarterbacks sitting next to you tell you Brett Favre can move those safeties around with that pump fake as good as anybody ever has.
Brett Favre. Ordinary. Gotta wait to get to the 84 to have that new life on the field. Brandon Pettigrew again on a crossing pattern, takedown by Cameron Wimbley of the Browns, but now the Lions moving the ball smartly. A very active first quarter, lots of big plays in it.
Well, Pettigrew is really sort of learning his craft. The second first rounder here at Detroit this year, Matthew Stafford, the first pick in the draft. Pettigrew coming in here at his size, 6'5", about 260 pounds. You can see he can run with power, and he's pretty quick for that size too.
Yeah, the coach said he puts tremendous pressure on himself to make big plays. And Pettigrew said, I just got to stop thinking about it and just go play. And there's a great throw by Stafford, as it no, they ruled the receiver Calvin Johnson was not in.
Johnson slow to get up.
And Brown is down, Randy.
Remember, he dinged his knee up a couple of weeks ago. This ball thrown on the extreme outside where only he could get the ball. Pretty nice little throw by Matthew Stafford, getting a chance to get the ball out there to Calvin Johnson. You got a Cleveland Brown down there, Don.
Yeah, he's down at the 26 spot as they look at an apparent injury to his right leg. So the clock stopped with 37 seconds to play in the first quarter. Thank you, JB. The Giants falling on hard times, winless in a long time. They're lost their last 4.
We're not going to get any sympathy from Atlanta. No. They've got a heck of a losing streak going right now too, and Mike Smith's team needs to get a run on, and that was David Bowens, the linebacker, who was down. So now they're down to their third stringer inside.
Bowens had a terrific game Monday night against the Ravens. 9 tackles and 2 sacks.
That puts Blake Costanzo, the special team specialist there at middle linebacker, 54, bouncing in and out of the line of scrimmage.
He's going to come out blitzing, it looks like. Nice timing throw again. And this is going to go the distance for a Lions touchdown. Aaron Brown out of the backfield. Some call it a bubble screen or a slip screen, whatever you want, but it worked perfectly. A 26-yard play and a touchdown.
Well, Don, the whole idea of these bubble screens, they run them in college because teams want to blitz a spread offense. Here in the NFL, same thing. They're blitzing inside. Look at the look they're giving Matthew Stafford. It's blitz all the way. Throw the bubble screen, get a couple blocks out in front of your runner. That was textbook, quick screen, big holes, 6 points. No problem for Aaron Brown.
And Aaron in the end zone with his first NFL touchdown. The rookie from TCU.
Nice job by Jeff Backus out there blocking on the screen. Perfectly
executed. And now ready for the point after is Jason Hansen. And we have a 24-10 first quarter score. Browns leading by 14 and still 30 seconds to play in the first quarter.
One more time. Ramirez, the guard, left guard, gets out there 63. Backus gets a block. Raiola gets a little bit of a block, but once the cutback is made and Aaron Brown gets inside, there's nobody with that blitz look. That's why you throw that out there, because once you get past the second level, which is the linebackers, there's nobody to stop that screen.
Yeah, he went in untouched. Nobody could stop it. There's a conversation between Rob Ryan, the defensive coordinator, and Eric Mancini looking for answers.
I think they know the answers. They want to know the next question. They know what went wrong. But you got to be aggressive. You've got to come after a Matthew Stafford. And honestly, you just got to rally to the ball and tackle. You get in that situation. And Backus got away with a little bit of a grab on his block. But if they don't call it, that's just good offense.
Hey, the guy sitting next to Matthew Stafford, Scott Linehan, is a good football coach. He's a terrific offensive coach. Was the head coach of the Rams for several years. And now the Lions are ready to kick off.
Don, with 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter, what kind of odds would you gotten that we'd have seen 34 points between these two teams in one quarter?
Nobody would just take that. Wouldn't have happened. 24-10. Brady Quinn with 3 touchdown passes in the first quarter for Cleveland.
Yeah, Gerard Lawson, DB in that position, that short position, and he just bobbles that ball. And smart decision by Detroit, keeping the ball away from Josh Cribbs.
Brad Celia giving some counsel there, the special teams coach. Well, at least if you're going to bungle it, you knock it out of bounds.
Yeah, but I think it's the case. You know, Stan Kwan, the special teams coordinator for Detroit, it's a better job of them executing than it is of Cleveland not being able to take advantage. That was just a bad catch there.
Now let's see if the Lions defense is motivated by the good play of their offense. Browns send Chris Jennings right at the Lions, and he gets out to about the 25-yard line, a gain of about 2. So Brady Quinn having a big day in a long time. I'll tell you, Charlie Weiss, his stock might not be very high as a head coach, but he said that Brady Quinn would be a standout in the NFL if he got protected. Now the Browns go 1st and 10, ball positioned at their 19-yard line. Here is a handoff to Jennings, and he's ahead. Jennings doesn't get a whole lot. And that brings up 3rd, and we'll see if they can cover these Browns receivers, Randy.
Well, if I'm Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns over there on the far sideline, I'm going to keep dialing it in down the field. If they don't stop it, I don't see any particular reason why I should stop doing it.
There's Daboll, the offensive coordinator for the Browns. Quinn in the shotgun. Lions bringing up those backers, ready to blitz. Here they come. Quinn stands in. And incomplete, and the Browns will finally have to punt the ball.
Bringing the blitz, trying to get that ball to Greg Estandia. Coming across the defense. In and of itself, if he gets the ball to Estandia, he's not going to get the first down. Little zone blitz. Clint Averill, you saw the defensive end was dropped off into coverage. He was right in front of Estandia, the tight end, and they were both short of the first down.
One of the Browns' best players, tight end Steve Hayden, is out for the rest of the season with a knee injury. Here's a punt hit downfield by Reggie Hodges. And a good special teams coverage, and the stop is made at the 38-yard line of Detroit. This is Don Criqui with Randy Cross back at Ford Field in Detroit. Brady Quinn with 3 touchdown passes in the first quarter. And now a 24-10 lead for the Browns over the Lions. Matthew Stafford, quick out. Browns all over it on the, some call the now pattern, right out to Calvin Johnson. Landon McDonald was the guy who stopped him.
You know, before the game today, the Detroit organization and their fans held a moment of silence for Stephanie Spielman, the wife who lost her battle of the great Lion linebacker Chris Spielman. Lost her battle with breast cancer. It was quite a moving moment here in this stadium. I have to send all our condolences to the Spielman family.
Chris Spielman, a tremendous player at Ohio State and with the Lions, and now Kevin Smith gets the pass out of the backfield, and Bowen's back in the game, makes the stop, but he does it 13 yards downfield. And the Lions getting it back together a little bit more, Randy.
And one thing they're missing here in Detroit is something Chris Spielman was all about. You know, you talk about the abilities, he had all of those, but his passion for football, his love of this game, the fire he played with was not unlike the fire and the talents that a guy like Barry Sanders played with, and they're sorely lacking that with his football team.
He was a tremendous player, and now a broadcaster, Chris Spielman. Our sympathy and prayers go out to him and his family on the loss of his wife Stephanie after a long battle with cancer. Jim Schwartz, in his first year as head coach of the Lions, told us as head coach, your focus is on one thing: winning the next game. As far as long-range plans, all that is secondary. He said winning next time out trumps everything. What you do is during the week as a coach. Stafford gets time, and the ball flutters in.
Arm got hit. Coming through on the game in the blitz, they were able to affect.
It's like Bowens.
Stafford's arm. Bowens comes around on the outside on that blitz and just does get the right arm of Stafford to cause that little flutter. Sets up a third and 3, 3rd and 4. Still a pretty reasonable number for this offense, but you got to throw it past the sticks here, because Cleveland's already proven they're tackling pretty good.
They are. Line to gain is the Browns 39. Throwing a catch. First down, Lions. There's the big rangy receiver from Georgia Tech, Calvin Johnson, with a 14-yard gain on 3rd and short.
That's something that Calvin Johnson can pretty much have whenever he wants it, Don. When you think about it, you're so worried about him going down the field. He jabs inside, working on McDonald, comes back outside. He's got such speed and such a wonderful ability to run after the catch. In fact, he's number 2 in the NFL behind Wes Welker in yards after the catch.
Talked about the arm strength of Stafford. He said you check your fingers sometime when he hungs it in. He called him a gunslinger. Tremendous arm, Matthew Stafford, the #1 overall pick, 6'2", 236 pounds.
But what's so different about his target, Calvin Johnson, Don? He's 6'5", 235. And you don't hear defensive backs like Eric Wright very often talk about being worried about his speed and his ability to run after the catch. For a guy that big, he should be a tight end.
He's an extraordinary talent, Calvin Johnson. They missed on a lot of high-kick wide receivers at Detroit. They didn't miss on him. Here's a throw downfield and a catch and a touchdown. No signal yet, but looks like now it comes. It's a touchdown for the Lions, and all of a sudden this game is turned around. The Lions are right back in it on that 25-yard touchdown throw.
Well, you have to compliment the calm of Matthew Stafford, Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz, the head coach. They got down 24-3. There was no rush to score, to try to score 21 at once. They kept taking their big chomps, and Kevin Smith get a little lonely there in the middle of the field as a running back. When no one's covering you, it's kind of easy to hit you on a cute little pass right up the slot.
Kevin Smith with his first receiving touchdown of the season, his 4th touchdown overall. He's caught 3 balls today for 100 yards and a touchdown. Extra point is good. The Lions have rallied back now with 14 unanswered points after they fell behind 24-3 to the Browns in the first quarter. Now the Lions kick off again. Short kick. Yates. No, this is Cribbs who has the ball. And Cribbs is across the 30. Yates with the block, and now a penalty marker flies in the air.
Was that a penalty marker, or was that like
maybe a
cheek pad or something came out of the helmet on contact, popped straight up into the air? I'm not sure if Cribbs didn't put that ball on the ground. Nope, it's going to be Cleveland ball.
Harry McCauley, the referee. Browns have the ball as the Lions have cut their 24-3 lead down to 7. Good run play. Jamal Lewis gets yet another carry, his 7th.
JB did a great job in the pregame today with his interview with Eric Mangini. A lot of tough questions.
He did, and Mangini defended that they don't practice any longer than other teams. How long did you guys practice with the 49ers? Were you on the field?
Well, it seemed like forever the years we were bad. We had those back-to-back 2 and 14 years. It seemed like we were on the field for 3 hours a day trying to figure out what was going on.
Well, you've figured it out, because after 2 years after a 2 and 14 season, you guys won the Super Bowl. It's astounding.
I can't wait to hear the halftime and hear Coach Cowher and see if he has any explanation and or point of reference on an offense like Cleveland's that has had so much frustration, that has had so much lack of production to suddenly produce. And we talk about JB's interview. A lot of speculation in Cleveland about Mangini's future. A lot of speculation about bringing a football person in. And I know it's against Detroit, but this has got to be a performance that, from Randy Lerner, the owner, on down, has got to make him feel pretty good, at least right now. A win is what it's all about, but, man, getting this kind of production is what they've all been waiting for.
Eric Mangini will coach the Browns next year. That's going to happen.
You
can't be changing after a year. He was a former nose tackle at Wesleyan. He looks like he could get out there again.
They're getting Cleveland for a delay game here on first down. I'm not sure if they set the play clock all the way back up where it was supposed to be after that sneak, did they?
Might be the problem. Line of scrimmage is the 47-yard line of the Browns, with still 10 minutes to play in the first half, and already 41 points on the board. Mangini and his counterpart Jim Schwartz, they both began with the Browns in the mid-90s.
Malfunction of the play clock. First down.
So it went right immediately back to, then already started before they even spotted the ball. That wasn't malfunction. Good call by the officials, bringing that back by Terry McCauley.
And it is a first down for the Browns. Here is Quinn. Gets time, out pattern, receiver right on time at the 41-yard line on his out cut. Massaquoi, a 12-yard gain and a Browns first down.
Well, working against Philip Buchanan again, and Buchanan's giving him a nice little pad. You push your route up there like that. That was a nice route. Good job by Mohamed Massaquoi. I asked Jerry Rice this week what's the one thing he'd like to see young receivers do more of, and he said they've got to run better routes, more precise routes. You learn to do that, you're doing your quarterbacks a huge favor.
Well, who better to give receiver advice than Jerry Rice? Greatest of the great. Here is a handoff, and not a whole lot going on. Jamal Lewis just banged straight ahead on a first down carry. Got about a yard down inside the 40-yard line of the Lions. Lewis, he is a gamer, a durable pounding back, a guy at 2,000 plus yards, 2,066 yards in the 03 season. And later came the Browns from Baltimore.
Massaquoi top of the screen now, Fury on the bottom.
Brady Quinn under center. 9 of 11 throwing the ball for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half. Lewis again. Lions up to it, stopping it. It's Grady Jackson, a 13-year veteran at defensive tackle number 90. And now Quinn in a throwing down, 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, not quite as selective as a 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 4th. You run the play action on a 3rd and 6, you're not going to get nearly the bite you've gotten before. In fact, why not even drop the pretense? Just go to shotgun and say, hey, look, I'm throwing this one.
All probability, he'll be throwing this one. It's a 3rd down.
Comes the blitz. Pointer blitz on the outside. Buchanan.
Man, what a blitz it was. Quinn got it in the direction. Quinn did a great job just to get the ball away near a legal receiver, not grounding.
Here's Buchanan coming here. Maeva goes in the inside. That's who puts the pressure.
And Levy comes free.
I'm sorry, Levy comes in the inside. 54 for the Lions. Beautiful job. You're thinking a quick slide. And Levy does a nice job of delaying the blitz just enough to avoid the protection.
So the Lions, a late wake-up call in this game after they fell behind 24-3. Now they're down by 7, ready to get the ball back. Reggie Hodges in to punt the ball. Zastudil out for the season with an injury. And then put on IR. Really good special teams coverage as the ball is going to be down just outside the 5-yard line. Hodges spent 4 games with the Titans this year. They think he's a very good punter, and they know Zastudil is, but he can't go.
So here's one of those positive area offensive possessions for Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. You do have to be very careful of. Don't do anything bad with the ball up front offensively. You've got to be able to block for Kevin Smith in the running game. You get in obvious passing situations, you're asking for serious trouble backed up like this.
Well, as Matthew Stafford told us, Randy, on Friday, his keys, no turnovers. They've had one interception, and stay out of 3rd and long. Kevin Smith has called on the run. Browns shut it down. Jason Trusnick, now a starter, acquired to trade with the Jets on October 7th from played collegiately at Northern Ohio.
You know, Matthew Stafford avoiding the turnover is not a bad idea. I mean, his first 7 starts, he's put up some pretty good interceptions. But it comes with a young quarterback, feeling his way around, really doing what he needs to do, getting the ball down the field. You're going to turn it over.
There's another nice timing throw. Extending for the first down is Jerome Felton. Now they're going to shut him. He's going to be out just short of it, about a yard or so short. Hey, these leaping salutes, Randy, some guy's going to hurt a knee or something, or an ankle.
Do a Grammatica?
Yeah. Makes the field goal and goes out for the season. Marker is down.
Sean Rogers is offside, Don.
Kevin Smith was shut down, but Rogers.
Defense, number 92.
That is it. Sean Rogers, 7 years a Detroit Lion, coming back to play for the Browns.
Wow, huge sigh of relief if you're Detroit. Backed up like this, you're getting a chance to get another set of downs. Sean Rogers clearly started about a half a beat before the ball was snapped and was right in the middle of the, well, at that point it's no longer the neutral zone. It's definitely chosen a side when he gets in it.
He can blow up an offensive line, Sean Rogers. 3 times a Pro Bowl player in his career. Even earlier, Stafford must be catching him on something.
Well, you gotta realize too.
Number 92. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Now you listen to the voice. See if he's drawing him off. There's a tell in there, and when I say a tell, Sean Rogers has picked something up with maybe the hands of Matthew Stafford, the feet of Matthew Stafford. And Eric Mangini's defensive tackle is getting his tell and going. The problem is the tell is wrong. Leave it alone.
1st and 5. Going wide. There's Kevin Smith, and good defense stringing it out. Eric Wright, who had the interception earlier, and makes a good tackle wide. And now the Lions have to huddle up and go for it on 2nd down and almost 6.
Well, when you get in the situation Detroit was in earlier, though, with the ball sitting back there around the 5-yard line, your goal in life for that series is pretty much just getting 1 first down, and Jim Schwartz's offense did that. Now in 2nd and medium, press the ball. The play action is in play.
Maurice Morris is in the backfield, swinging out. Stafford looking. See that arm strength. Open receiver. We're going to have a tie game. With the extra point, Calvin Johnson is in. And the Lions seemingly hopelessly out of the game on their home field, down 24-3. After that 75-yard scoring play, ready to tie it up with an extra point.
Well, don't confuse the ability to scramble with the ability to move. Stafford moved, bought himself the time, and man, Calvin Johnson showed you a little bit of that speed we were talking about earlier, because Brodney Poole couldn't stay close to him, and once he caught the ball, he had no chance of getting close to him.
And Randy, a wave of happiness seems to have swept over Ford Field here. These Lions fans are up now, smiling and cheering, and well, they should.
Well, when you're both 1-8, is a lead really safe?
Well, when you can't score, you wonder if there's going to be a lead. And then coming in, you wonder if this is the beauty contest nobody won. Matthew Stafford heating up. Now he has 270 yards and 3 touchdown throws in the first half.
Taking advantage of some man coverage.
Kickoff into and out of the end zone, touchback. Did they take Joshua Cribbs out of the return? Let's watch that touchdown again, Randy.
Yeah, well, here's Brodney Poole. Watch as Calvin Johnson comes inside here, and then he nods out and then breaks inside. And it's the nod out that really affects Poole. Poole's got plenty of space. There's the nod, there's the bite. And after that, it's just see you later, bye. You're in a race, you got no chance of winning short of having wheels.
Stafford was almost falling back off balance, lofting that long ball, perfectly thrown.
Beautiful job of avoiding the rush and buying the time to get that ball to Johnson, though.
He did. He looks sharp now. Slow start for the Lions, but they're now in a tie game. And here's Quinn on a rollout, swings it out. Well-executed play. It's going to go for yardage as running with the ball is Chris Jennings.
Well, still just under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. We're tied at 24-all. Cleveland led the first 9 minutes, 24-3. In the 16 minutes since then, Detroit's won those 16 minutes, 21-0. That's how we get to 24-24. And the numbers are just ridiculous.
Really, these are like Hall of Fame numbers for Quinn and Stafford. They both came in with quarterback ratings in the 50s. The pitch, the toss, works well. Jennings knocked out of bounds. See where they'll spot him out. He got about close to 4. Louis Delmas has been quiet, but he's going to possibly be an all-pro player at free safety. Second-round draft choice out of Western Michigan. Boy, they hear your coaches talk about him.
Yeah. Very decisive, Don, for a young player. Yeah, when he goes, he just goes. There's no hesitation in him.
Well, like Jim Schwartz said, he's a freak show at free safety with his ability and his tremendous desire to be great. Jennings runs, and now third down comes up.
Look out for the Wildcat here. Cribbs is in. Brady Quinn, top of the screen, a quarterback.
3rd and 2. Cribbs follows blockers, turns the corner, first down. He's out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Josh Cribbs, he can change directions at full speed. So he breaks that for the first down carry on 3rd and short.
Watch Vickers, 47, the fullback, with a quick little rub on the corner. Not much of a block. But when you just get that little bit of a shoulder on the defender as you're running by, you're going to stop him. That was Andre Fluellen trying to keep that edge, and Vickers just got a little flipper on him. That's what gave Cribbs the ability to get those extra yards.
Now one of the standouts for the Lions, Julian Peterson, back home in Michigan. Tremendous player from Michigan State, tremendous player in the NFL. Most of his career with Seattle, 5 times a Pro Bowl player. He hasn't missed any time in the weight room.
A guy that can really come off the edge. But when you're the kind of the Lone Ranger coming off the edge, teams figure you out pretty quick, and they just devote time and protection to you. And that's something that Jim Schwartz and Gunther Cunningham have been able to do, is increase a little pressure from all over.
Last time, 3 passes, touchdowns in a quarter. Back in 07. Here now is Quinn, a good fake, and he screens the ball to Jennings with blockers in front. He's ahead for a first down to the 35-yard line of the Lions. Defensive end Jason Hunter finally got him down, but good play execution by the Browns, and Quinn with the fake.
And very nice patience and almost a, not lackadaisical, but real calmness to how Brady Quinn was dropping on that to sell the fake, to sell the pass, to suck the rush up toward him so that screen would be opened up there behind him.
High game, 24 all after the Browns led early, 24-3 in the first quarter. Now 2:30 to go in the half. Good D by the Lions as they jolt Chris Jennings. And a power dive. Jordan Dizon making the stop.
Yeah, that's the kind of personnel grouping on first down that Browns would like to be in, that 1 back, 2 tight ends. Because they'd love to give you that look so they can run the ball or feign to run the ball and give you a nice little bite on play action and be able to go down the field to Massaquoi and company.
1-8, still my team. That's another thing, Randy, these two teams have in common besides the 1-8 records. They've got great fan bases. You give Cleveland Browns fans or Lions fans something to cheer about, and they'll fill the building. Right now, where's Quinn losing his footing? Might have been stepped on by a lineman dropping back to pass block.
Well, that's usually one of the guards. Rarely is a center getting back fast enough to do that. It's usually one of the guards stepping inside. And in this case, it's Steinbach, the left guard, getting pushed back into the backfield and stomps down on his quarterback's left foot with his right foot.
Loss of 6. You spotted that quickly. I doubt, though, you ever were guilty of that.
Repetitively. All right, now they got to get at least to the 30-yard line.
Joe Montana's got the sore foot to show for it.
At least to the 30 for Phil Dawson. Get into that field goal range.
Draw play. Well done by the Browns as they run it on the long yardage play. 3rd and 16 inside the Lions 30-yard line. 12-yard gain on the play. Eric Mangini said the whole thing about coaching is you have to analyze your team nonstop for ways to improve. Nonstop analyzing every facet. He said he learned that from Bill Belichick and Bill Parcells. 2 guys, good guys to learn from, and now there's a timeout.
Well, it'd be worth the price of admission to be in his defensive coordinator Rob Ryan's room here at halftime, and Gunther Cunningham, the defensive coordinator for Jim Schwartz. I'd love to be in those defensive meetings here coming up at halftime. Cleveland's going to go for it here on 4th down. I think they should kick. Maybe they're just trying to draw him off.
Maybe they think a 5-yard penalty would get him a first down.
Dawson can make this.
Quinn looks out pattern. Beautifully thrown ball for a first down. As Quinn triggers it to Chancey Stuckey on a 4th down. Mangini told us during the week that the thing they really have to improve on, the Browns have to convert more 3rd downs. Now they convert a 4th down.
Well, Quinn stays in very, very nicely. Knows the pressure's coming, but stands in, steps into the throw, and delivers it perfectly to the outside. Then gets himself a little heck of a wallop for his trouble. Nice gamble. I don't agree with it, but nice gamble.
Yeah, they're nice when they work. Right back to the run. Mal Lewis, 10 years into his career now, a 3.6 per carry runner, but still a hammer out there. And give it to him all day. And the game clock now down to 45 seconds to play in the first half and running.
Well, you pass up the chance at about a 45, 46-yard field goal. You get the first down. They're not taking a timeout. They don't want any time left on the clock when they score. Why leave any left in this half? Detroit's already proven they can go all the way on one play. Eat all the clock up if you're Cleveland.
Yeah, they've both proven they can go all the way in one play. Here is Quinn. It's a pass and ball's on the field incomplete. Massaquoi had it and lost it. That brings up 3rd down and 9 as the Browns are in a field goal range. They have another down to try to get the first down. Time a factor, though, now. 19 seconds to play in the half.
Well, Massaquoi gets caught in between catching the ball and heading downfield, and the little territory in between catching the ball and hitting down the field of what's known as drops. Once you lose the focus on the catching the ball part, I don't like your chances of holding on to the ball.
Browns still have 2 timeouts. They can use the whole field on this throw. Blitzers come. Good fake. Oh, a drop. Chris Jennings, the best thrown ball of the day, and he drops it. A touchdown is denied. And the rookie Jennings, a blatant drop.
Oh, a circle route coming out of the backfield. And he does a beautiful job, Brady Quinn does, of dropping it right on Jennings' hands. He's on that matchup with Levy. Levy thinks he's covered.
Now they stretch and get the first down with 8 seconds left.
Wow. Talk about emptying the entire bag. You fake a field goal?
Mike Fury makes the catch. He was with the Lions the last 3 seasons.
Direct snap to Dawson. Dawson, the lefty, throws it right out there to Fury. Fury gets himself a first down. There's 6 seconds left.
Fury, 87, once caught 46 touchdown passes in a season as a pro for the New York Dragons of the Arena League. And then he was signed by the Rams. Can you imagine that? Not even.
Now you're going to kick from closer?
This time they're going to kick. With 6 seconds left, so the Browns looking for their first point since they built the 24-3 lead.
I'm not smart. I guess I'm not smart enough. I don't understand what you just did. Timeout by Detroit.
Charge timeout, Detroit. 30-second timeout.
That was all about eating up time, risking a chance of not getting any points, letting your kicker throw a ball.
Hey, when you're 1-8, you delve deep into the bag of tricks. Whatever comes out, rabbits, trick plays. So Eric Mangini and his Browns, an adventure today at Detroit.
Nice concentration by Dawson. I'm not sure he ever saw the laces. He just sort of grabbed the ball well, but he just chunks it all out there to Fury and let him get the first down. But
I think they were hoping, Randy, for a misconnect on defense and he'd run right down the field. Nobody pick him.
Nice job by the Detroit D of not, or the Detroit special teams of not buying on the fake and having somebody out there.
29-yard field goal attempt. Hit up and good with 2 seconds to play in the first half. Matthew Stafford, he's got 2 seconds when he gets out there. We know one thing, he can throw it far and accurately. From Highland Park section of Dallas, Texas. According to published reports, his guarantee as the signee with the Lions is the #1 overall pick in the draft. $41 million.
Yeah, this ball on the ground. Touch, the clock starts.
And that is it. And what a first half it was. These two teams have had problems scoring this year. And in the first half today, the two quarterbacks, Quinn and Stafford, have combined for almost 500 passing yards, 3 touchdown throws each. What's going on?
It's pretty amazing. I mean, Brady Quinn and this offense haven't done very much at all.
You have to wonder about the halftime adjustments defensively, too, because the defenses have been abhorrent.
Well, look at the halftime stats. Time of possession is a little out of whack. Total yards are just about even. I mean, I've got to take my hat off to the Detroit Lions. Remember, it was 24-3.
Yeah.
That could have been an easy time just to do nothing but throw the ball, to kind of panic. And what they did was they had a field goal early, they had a couple of bad series, and then it was touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
Yeah, they came back in great style. And a reminder, this game is brought to you in high definition here on CBS. So the Browns will kick off to start the third quarter of play. Ball will be back in the hands of the rookie sensation today, Matthew Stafford.
Well, the real weapon for the Detroit Lions in that first half is in the middle of the field, mostly, with the Lions running backs catching the ball.
Here's the kick, 3 yards deep, and they'll bring it out. Aaron Brown, the rookie, cuts back, races on. Aaron Brown dives out to the Lions' 43-yard line. 45-yard return.
Blake Costanzo just barely got the back of his foot tripped him up. Otherwise, it was one-on-one between he and Dawson. I don't like Cleveland's chances if that happens.
First half today for the Lions.
That's what I talked about earlier. They had the field goal, a punt, an interception, down 24-3. Never lost focus, never lost track of their game plan, just kept plugging along.
Both teams combined almost 600 yards offense in the first half, 51 points scored. Kevin Smith runs the ball. Smith was doubtful, some concern during the week because of a bruised shoulder, but he's been a standout. Had a terrific touchdown catch and run.
Really, first down has been key for both these offenses. They've run the ball very effectively. They've set themselves up in very nice second and medium and third and short positions where their playbooks are open, and the pass rush has a hard time devoting much time to the blitz.
Dominic Raiola delivers the shotgun snap. Oh, a live ball there, very nearly picked off the hands of Brian Johnson, who's had some problems with drops this season. Comes in with 22 receptions, none today.
Look at Stafford. He's kind of fallen back and away, and he zips that thing right down onto the right hip of Brian, and that ball got right on Brian before he expected it. It had a lot of heat on that thing, and I think he thought he expected it to be a little bit of a softer pass.
And now another throw probably coming up for Matthew Stafford on 3rd down and 6. Opening drive of the second half. Well-thrown ball, first down Lions to the 44-yard line of the Browns. Dennis Northcutt, the ex-Brown, makes the play. Abram Elam was the tackler.
There probably isn't one tool for a quarterback that's a little bit more overrated than how hard you can throw the ball. But it sure does come in handy if you're a young guy like Stafford. The heat's coming on you. You can zip that thing in and fit it where you need it to be. But the one thing he has to work on is his accuracy.
I tell you, Randy, he's got to make people nervous a little. He can launch at 50 yards falling back. A pitch run and a good play. Kevin Smith almost had a big gap. Then the Browns filled quickly. It was Jason Trusnick coming up, 93.
Every individual back has their own running style, and I know people critique Kevin Smith and go, gosh, he runs kind of high and upright. Well, he touched the ball about 400 times a year at University of Central Florida. Seemed like he had every single catch and every single run there for several years. Now he's come into the pros. I don't see people tattoo him that much, so he must be kind of hard to hit.
Good size. He's 6'1", 212 with a lot of speed. And there's another throw off the back foot, but this one is overshot or undershot, depending on your perspective. The guy was deep and the guy was short and it was in between.
Yeah, it was Calvin Johnson who was the deep receiver on that pass, and he had to get rid of it. He didn't have much of a choice. Dennis Northcutt was the short receiver. He's getting the blitz, and it's coming. He's getting the pressure inside from Sean Rogers, too. Adams was coming on the outside.
You gotta congratulate Sean Rogers and try to appease him as best you can.
You don't want to make him mad. Not if you're Brady. Not if you're Matthew Stafford.
Another throw and off target as the Browns put pressure on. Stafford's knocked down. That time coming hard was Corey Williams, guy who has 19.5 career sacks.
Yeah, he and Matthew Stafford got a whole face full of Corey Williams too. You look at the inside of that defense. If you're going to bring in Rodgers and Williams, both are very adept at making quick little moves and putting face pressure on a quarterback, which takes a lot of that time away you're trying to get for protection.
Yes, that's the second punt for the Lions. Bounces in, touchback. Browns will go from their 20.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Browns having a big offensive day. Last time they scored 27 in a game was last season against the Bills. The 08 season now a driving run on first down. Now Lewis doesn't get much. Maybe they'll try to run some clock, these two teams, rather than that just wild shootout we had in the first half.
I think you keep doing exactly what you've been doing if you're these offenses, and hope the other guy stumbles or makes a mistake, because you see what Cleveland did as far as starting the game with a field goal, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Keep it wide open. Keep throwing it down the field. Heck, they really haven't stopped it yet.
Well, it might be coming any moment. 2nd down and 7. Browns are caught. Josh Cribbs coming back on a reverse, and right at home to make the stop was 30 Co Simpson. Levy with him.
This little inside reverse. Instead of taking it all the way to the outside, you cut it up off the inside with the block on the outside by the tight end, trying to buy you the edge. Set you up in 3rd and 5. Manageable down here.
Quinn getting set to manage it if he can. Crowd kicks in. Here's a penalty marker.
Got a little motion
False
for
start.
the snap.
False start. Offense number 83.
What a difference that
5-yard
makes.
penalty.
From 3rd and 5 to
Third
3rd and 10. Estandia. The tight ends is in motion a bit early. Browns, that's a position they're going to be looking at. They're hoping Hayden will be back next year. He's been such a good player, out for the rest of this season with the injury.
That's something that this Browns team actually has been pretty good at, avoiding those pre-snap
Yes, they have.
mistakes.
Well, that's something Mangini's very proud of. They went from one of the most penalized teams to one of the least penalized this season. Here is Quinn. Look at that throw. And look at that move with the ball. And it looks like it's, let's see the linesman come in. He had to get to the 30, and that might have the spot chance. He's Stuckey as Quinn checks down against a big rush.
That's the way to stick that thing in if you're Brady Quinn. You just deliver that. Stuckey does a nice job of the shrug off. Not really breaking a tackle, just sort of flexing your lower body down and then quickly up and shrugging off the tackler. That was a beautiful job. That's nice. Delmas comes in late, puts the tackle down, but not before he can get a first down.
So the Browns convert a 3rd and 10 and drive on their opening possession of the second half. Room to go for Jamal Lewis. Hit low as he is cartwheeled. So an injured Lion, Co Simpson, is looked at as a timeout. Back to Detroit. Brady Quinn under center on 2nd. Looking deep. Out throw. Beautifully connected downfield to the 46-yard line to Greg Estandia. 18-yard gain.
Marvin White, who was into the game for Co Simpson, who went out. They're going to test this area right back in here. Check out the new safety. See if he's in the right spot. See if he's up to tackling. Nice job of tackling, but excellent job accuracy-wise and route-wise by the Cleveland Browns.
So we were talking earlier, Randy. Pass offense starts with pass blocking. They've been giving Quinn time, and he's really been responding. That time, Lions stuffed the run. DeAndre Levy makes the stop. Brady Quinn today throwing is 14 of 19 for 227 yards and 3 touchdowns. All of those 3 throws for scores in the first quarter.
There's a run blitz inside by Levy. Nice call by Gunther Cunningham. Filling the gaps inside. And here comes the Wildcat again with Cribbs.
Don't forget,
Quinn up top.
Josh Cribbs can throw the ball. He's going to run it. And the Lions are all over it. Good defense by Detroit. Joe Thomas, 2-time Pro Bowler, young as his career is for the Cleveland Browns at left tackle. There's a high pick that they made good on. Both these teams missing on so many high picks.
Play clock 2.
Quick out. Ooh. James almost had it. Very nearly. That could have gone the other way for 6.
Yeah, a little delay of game, I think, from that enthusiasm. Right there, nice play. Bang! James spikes it.
Defense number 41, spiking the ball in the field of play. The down counts. 4th down, 5-yard penalty.
Well, they didn't get burned badly. It's a 5-yard penalty. They still have to punt.
Nice play by William James up until the time he spikes the ball. That is going to happen about 100% of the time these days. You cannot do that. Not many players don't know that. They just get caught up in the moment and do it anyway.
Well, there was not a major penalty in a first down, so the Lions will get the ball back on a punt. Reggie Hodges out for the Browns.
You've got to pin Detroit back here if you're Cleveland. You're kicking from the 41. It's got to be inside the 5.
The ex-Brown Northcutt is back, coming up to fair catch the ball at the 17. Back to Detroit. Lions down by 3, third quarter. 1st and 10. Nicely executed slant pattern. And then yards after the catch by Bryant Johnson. First down Detroit. 17-yard gain.
Goodness knows the Cowboys have struggled the last 2 weeks. Barely scored a touchdown last week. And right now Washington's up on them 3-0.
They've gone into a scoring slump, the Cowboys. And now look at this run up to the 45-yard line. First down run, good for 12 yards. Kevin Smith is the man who broke it, weaving his way through the Brown defense.
Very nice job up front, the entire offensive line, but you got to say, you keep hearing the stuff about Kevin Smith being upright. Sure, look at this, he's upright. Who's hitting him? Who's tagging him?
He is, and he got tagged by Wembley, who knocked him down, Cameron Wembley.
15 yards down the field.
Yeah, it was a well-executed run, and now they try to go back to a run, and it's quickly shut down by the Cleveland defense. David Bowen's lead tackler. The young Lions of Detroit, they really think they had the nucleus for a better tomorrow here in Detroit.
Well, argue with those stats. Look at the job Kevin Smith's doing so far. He's got some pretty tough yards on the run, but his pass receiving up the middle of the field, along with Aaron Brown, have been really a difference maker.
They have. He really gets good grades in this organization, Kevin Smith. They think he's everything and more when they drafted him in the 2nd round out of Central Florida. This is his 2nd year, and here's Stafford. He can motor. Does the right thing. Takes the 12th man, the sideline, and bails out, but got 6 yards.
Well, you come out in an empty look. If you're Detroit, you have no running back. So pretty obvious to the defense. It's not a run. If it does end up being a run, it's a scramble by Stafford. But nice job of dropping off in zone by the Cleveland Browns, bringing 3 and leaving Stafford no alternative but to run it right there and leave him in 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6 it is. Lions still down by 3. Score stands as it was at the half, 27-24 Browns. There's the tight end from Oklahoma State, Brandon Pettigrew. Maava knocks him down, but it was an 8-yard gain on the play. A nice underneath pattern.
Yeah, you give Jim Schwartz and this organization another draft or so. If they draft this coming April like they drafted this April, they will be an appreciably better team, especially if Coach Schwartz gets to add some of the defensive sets to the puzzle like he did on the offensive side this year. Exactly.
5 position starters today and a kick returners were all first-year players coming out of that draft. Stafford with remarkable arm strength. Falling back again, triggers it to Kevin Smith. Pops Adams knocks it free. Mike Adams, they call him Pops.
Well, he popped that thing out of there pretty good. You can talk about the heat and whatnot. Watch what I spoke of earlier, sort of the accuracy. That ball was back and behind Kevin Smith. You put that in the left armpit instead of the right armpit, Pop Adams can't get to that ball, and it's a completion.
And so it is 2nd down and 10 now for the Lions. Stafford in the shotgun. He gets time, and he makes a nice controlled underneath throw. Bryant Johnson takes the ball, is stopped by Eric Wright. But the Stafford, Randy, with some pretty impressive passing numbers.
Absolutely. 309 yards so far, 3 touchdowns, 14 of 24, so the percentage isn't sparkly, but goodness knows the result is. And he, like Brady Quinn, have really been able to press the ball down the field.
Both of them made a concerted effort to throw the long ball, and they've hit him. Third down. Stafford again, this time throws across his body. Linesman come in. It looks like the spot's going to be good for Detroit. Calvin Johnson gets it.
That was a great spot for Detroit.
Yeah.
Actually, when he went down, I thought Calvin Johnson might have been short. In fact, matter of fact, I think he was short where the ball was when that knee first hit the ground, and then he stretched the ball out. Good break for the Lions.
And Calvin Johnson now with 4 catches today for over 100 yards, 101. And a long touchdown included. Stafford. He throws it like a baseball, and here is Calvin Johnson heading down to the 1-yard line.
Well, when you're talking about Calvin Johnson, eventually in a football game, you will marvel at his size and his ability of yards after the catch. 30 yards here, but watch the yards after he catches the ball. This guy's 6'5", 235, moves with speed, moves with power, breaks tackles.
I tell you, this Matthew Stafford can throw the ball.
They better hurry up and get a body off the field. Got a timeout now by Detroit.
Watch your own Super Bowl site. Some gentleman from Canada did. He bought this, the Pontiac Silverdome.
For how much?
$580,000. 127 acres go with it.
Talk about something that makes you go, huh?
Then what do you do with it? I guess you tear it down and use the acreage. Now here's a handoff. The Lions. No, it's a fake and a throw and a touchdown. Beautiful execution. Will Heller on the receiving end of his 3rd touchdown catch. And play with Matthew Stafford's arch rival Georgia Tech.
Great job by Kevin Smith. Look at him sell the fake. He dives up into the air. Half the Lion defense is on the ground. They bid on Kevin Smith and went to tackle him. Beautiful job selling that fake by Stafford. Better job of executing it by Kevin Smith.
And Stafford, Randy, 6 of 7 on that drive for 67 yards and the touchdown. He was 2 for 2 on the drive in 3rd down conversions. And the Lions lead for the first time today. At one point in the first quarter, they trailed 24-3 to Cleveland. We're back at Detroit with the Lions on a 4th touchdown throw this day by rookie Matthew Stafford. Have taken the lead for the first time over the Browns, 31-27. Don Criqui with Randy Cross, and now ready to see what Brady Quinn and the Browns offense looks to do when they start gunning. Cribbs somehow makes his way all the way out across the Browns' 40-yard line. Yeah, both events, aren't they? They're in Miami this year.
Yeah, they're both in Miami. One the Sunday before.
That will be a brief appearance for those guys involved in the game. Here's Quinn. Long ball. Receivers out there. Oh, it's through his hands. Massaquoi. Oh, perfectly thrown ball.
Well, Buchanan makes a dive and a play for the ball.
He might have tipped it.
Oh, you have to see it from the end zone angle, because from this angle it looked like it went right through his hands. He makes a dive and to go after the ball's wide, and actually I don't know if he even tipped it. I think he mistimed his jump, but the hands and whatnot distracted Massaquoi. But I like the aggressiveness. You're only down by 4 points. Keep banging at it. Keep stretching this field.
In the first half, Chris Jennings had a short touchdown pass. He dropped it. Quinn has thrown for 3 scores, almost 5. A couple of near misses. And now he'll have to throw on 3rd down. Or is probable to throw.
We talked about the lack of great passing yards this offense has had, but Jamal Lewis in the running game has added almost 100 yards. They're at 98 yards right now rushing.
Brady Quinn, 14 of 20 for 227 yards in the game, threw for 135 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. And the Browns build a 24-3 lead. Here's an all-out blitz. They pick it up. Give Tim Quinn time. Home run ball. Receivers out there. Incomplete at the goal line. Massaquoi seemed to have a difficulty, Randy, adjusting to the ball.
Well, he threw it back behind him. Massaquoi, going from right to left, was expecting it out over his left shoulder with his right arm in front. See him have to suddenly turn and adjust to the ball. He just lost track of it.
Yeah, the defender right there on his left side. So near miss, and the Browns have to punt the ball back to the Lions, who lead for the first time 31-27.
Don't give him good field position here. You've got to have a well-placed punt.
Short-handed Dennis Northcutt is back. Makes a hop and goes out of bounds. A beautiful punt. Special teams excellent.
Perfect.
Reggie Hodges. And a directional punt out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. It's about as good as you can do it.
There's a holding on the Detroit Lions return team, half the distance to the goal line. So now it's back up from the 4 to the 2. See, now if you're the Rob Ryan and the Cleveland Browns defense, do you want to get a little daring? I know you've been burned on occasion down the field. I think you have to take a look at the personnel, who they have on the field. The Lions just took Calvin Johnson off the field. If you're Rob Ryan, why not attack here?
Let's see if Stafford attacks. He's thrown for 345 already today and 4 touchdowns. Rob Ryan did call a blitz.
Offense number 70. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
And Detroit saw it. In fact, they saw it so well. Daniel Loper, starting at right guard, jumped off sides.
And now, additionally to the long field to go, the Lions in precarious position because any offensive penalty in the end zone is a safety.
Now we see Calvin Johnson come back onto the field. That sort of puts the little bubble screen thing back into play. Little quick pass. You give him a pad, they'll flip it out.
Browns playing run all the way, and they slam the door on Kevin Smith.
A nice job by Kenyon Coleman. Come from that backside left defensive end. Kevin Smith barely gets back into the field to play. That almost happened in the end zone. Good execution. Barely getting the ball back past the 1-yard line.
Browns had 3 sacks on Monday night against the Ravens. None today against Stafford, but the Browns did come in with 19 sacks on the season, which is more than they had all of last season. They had only 17 sacks as a team in 08. Second down. Stafford slide pattern. Here's a penalty marker. First down.
Eric Wright made contact, banged Johnson before the ball got there.
Defense number 24. Automatic first down.
So that makes the predicament of the Lions deep in their own end a bit better. A first down, that's no question. It's a foul.
Yeah, and a very nice job by Bryant Johnson. Look at him turn his shoulders. He's presenting Matthew Stafford with that target, the 8 and the 0 to throw to, and left Eric Wright no choice. He had to run right through him to try to get to that ball.
First and 10 now for the Lions, up by 4. Stafford.
That's grounding in the end zone.
Yeah. Browns get 2 points. They're going to get the ball.
Now somebody, I mean, you got him by the legs and he throws it away. That's intentional grounding. That's got to be.
Hands overhead coming together. Signal it officially. They're still talking it over. Offensive penalty in the end zone is a safety.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, offense, that penalty's declined.
That's a safety.
Intentional grounding, offense number 9. The foul occurred in the end zone. Safety.
Yeah. Both fouls occurred in the end zone. Both would have resulted in 2 points. Very nice by Rob Ryan and the defense. Be aggressive. Go after Matthew Stafford. Go after this offense. That's really nice stuff. I mean, you can't complain. That's Jason Trusnick, who came here in that Jets trade, sort of a throw-in special teams guy that now has to start at linebacker. Trying to be blocked on the outside by Brandon Pettigrew, the rookie tight end, and Trusnick gets right by him. Pettigrew has to hold him, and he still gets the safety.
Trusnick making him proud at Northern Ohio University, where he played as a collegian. And now it is going to be the free kick from the 20. Usually they choose to punt the ball for the hang time and the coverage. But the game has changed now. The Browns getting their first points of the second half with 41 seconds to go in the third quarter. A safety. But they'll get good field position in all probability and could be in field goal range, although a made field goal in a 1-point lead probably won't mean much in this game with a quarter to play.
Well, remember who's catching this. It's going to be Josh Cribbs.
Yeah, that's another thought.
And he should field it about the 25 or 20, and it'll be about 40 yards between he and whoever's trying to tackle it.
From the 26. Beats the first coverage, and then excellent special teams coverage by the Lions. Lead tackler was Jordan Dizon. And Brady Quinn of the Browns offense comes out. Now down by 2 points.
That was a beautiful job by Dizon and the coverage team. Against one of the better returners in this league. You hem him in like that. I mean, by all appearances, with the Josh Cribbs, you're expecting to get a 15, 20, 25-yard return on that.
All of the 31-yard line of the Browns. Jamal Lewis, not a breakaway runner. You're not going to go 10 or 12 plays in a drive against the Lions. You've got to throw it down the field. Averill makes the stop.
Not anymore. You know, there was a time Jamal Lewis would get to that second level and burst through a tackle, and he would be gone. I mean, he's had a wonderful career so far today. 16 carries for 61 very yeoman's-like duty for Jamal Lewis.
Yeah, he carries the load. And that'll do it for 3 quarters of play.
The third quarter.
We're ready to go now. The Browns, after the safety, back to within 2 and going 1st and 10. First play of the fourth quarter, Jamal Lewis pounds away again, his 17th carry of the day, 64 yards gained. DeAndre Levy, rookie linebacker from Wisconsin, makes the stop. They brought in people from all over for this defense. As Jim Schwartz, the Lions coach, told us, Randy said we were the Ellis Island of defense. People came from all over looking to fill voids. Now the Lions defense called on to make a stop on 3rd down.
There's one from a bunch formation. Tight end 3 wide now, spread out.
Quinn, incomplete at the 44-yard line. The Browns stall, and they have to punt the ball. Massaquoi was the target. Ball came in low, but a tough one to handle.
Low and away. That's what you got. Massaquoi going full speed to his right. Ball is thrown back behind his right hip. Not great coverage. I think it's another case if Stafford wants to address one thing, it'd be that accuracy, especially on that kind of a throw.
Hodges booms another one. This guy looks like Yale Larry when he was hunting in his prime for the Lions, a Hall of Famer. Now
flag down.
A return by Northcutt. They introduced a lot of the Lion greats at halftime. People like Joe Schmidt and Yale Larry. Well, right now it's a 53-yard punt and a 14-yard return. Charlie Sanders was out there, Hall of Fame tight end. And Lem Barney, one of the greats.
He had one of the coverage. The gunner on the right side for Cleveland ran out of bounds. Immediately the hat of the official and the flag of the official came out.
And that's out of bounds in the punt. Went out on his own, number 20 of the kicking.
That's the Tasker rule. Our colleague at CBS Sports, Steve Tasker, used to run behind the bench to get downfield. If Matthew Stafford of the Lions throws another touchdown pass today, he'll be the first rookie quarterback in NFL history to throw for 5 touchdowns in a game. A number of guys, a number of rookies have tied him, or he tied them with 4 touchdown throws in a game. That's what he has right now. 2-point lead. Lions go to the run to Kevin Smith. Kenyon Coleman, the tackler for the Browns.
Yeah, we've seen both these young quarterbacks throw a lot of touchdowns, throw some passes that have kind of gotten away from them, thrown some passes where they've stepped up into pressure and delivered the ball right on the money. Stafford's got to keep gunning this thing. Kevin Smith has been a great weapon, not only just carrying the ball, but also on screens and in the middle of this defense.
And he is an all-around back. Kevin Smith, the lone back behind Stafford. Play fake to him. Ball on the field, and Stafford gets it back. Quick of hand, Matthew Stafford almost turned it over. There's been one turnover today on a throw by Stafford that Eric Wright picked off and ran back 30 yards. Set up a touchdown.
That's Bowen that gets in there and knocks that ball out coming on a blitz. And boy, Stafford looked like a snake's tongue flicking that hand out there to get it. But notice which hand he got it with.
Yeah, the left.
It wasn't the right hand, it was the left hand he reached out there and grabbed it with. As a coach, you love to see that. You'd go, well, that's smart. You're not using the good throwing hand.
Yeah, 330 pounds landing on your arm. Could be IR. Stafford looking to screen the ball. And then with no one to go to, good defense by the Browns. Had it all covered. Incomplete. And so 3 and out for the Lions on this possession. Leading by 2 with still most of the fourth quarter to play. We talked about this game coming in. The speculation this might be the beauty contest that nobody won, because these teams can't score until today. 60 points between them with still 12:44 to play.
Be careful. This better be a good hang or a good directional kick. Cribbs will return it.
It's well hit. Cribbs will return it. Hey, the Lions, they're playing some tremendous kick coverage. Browns have the ball with 12:31 to go. Quinn on a rollout, throwing a catch. Tackle broken, working his way for a first down, and now a penalty marker comes in from way back. Randy, you saw that one.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be a block in the back.
Came late in the play, too. I think he had the first
Illegal
down.
block in the back. Offense number 47. 10-yard penalty.
Lawrence
First down.
Vickers, the fullback.
Yeah, Vickers started the play basically as a right wing back in that fullback position. And I mean, that is right in front of the official. And you give a linebacker like DeAndre Levy a shot in the back like that, your chances of an official not seeing that are pretty remote.
Lions and the Browns, a great history dating back half a century in the 50s, between 52 and 57. They played for the NFL championship 4 times, and Detroit won 3. The Browns won in the 50s. Bobby Lane was the quarterback here, and Otto Graham was QB in the Browns.
Got an issue with the sticks not being in the right spot.
First down and 8 yards to go.
Yeah.
Well, 14 to go. A long game with maybe a lot more scoring, although the Browns have kind of shut down that scoring machine they showed us in the first quarter. Chad Jennings to 33. Thank you, JB. On any given Sunday, look at the Kansas City Chiefs rising up today in the long season they've had. Here's Quinn. Dumps it down short on a second down play. They needed a long 3. Larry Foote, who was part of the Steeler championship team last season, a University of Michigan Wolverine. 3rd down and 1. What do you do here, Randy? Give it to the banger?
Well, it's 2 tight end formation. This is the 86 gains as a lead blocker.
Throwing a catch, but
play clock ran
Prior
out.
to the snap, Cleveland requested and has charged their first timeout.
That's why they called the timeout. That play clock was going to 0 as they called that thing.
Back to Detroit. Browns down by 2, 31 to 29.
This is the pass formation. 1 tight end, 1 back, 3 wide.
Brady Quinn calls his own number and plunges ahead behind his center, Alex Mack, the rookie from Cal. First down, Browns.
Well, it was straight up just power. What a nice job in the middle by Alex Mack coming off. You don't see a center get a chance to tee off that often on a defensive lineman. The tee off he did, I believe it was on Turk McBride inside.
He teed off and got the needed yard and some more after that. Got about 2.5 on the play. Their handoff is running wide is Jennings. And he is knocked out of bounds on the far side across the Browns 40-yard line. Marvin White makes the play on defense.
What's a smart job. Very smart job by Jennings. Watch when he tries to get the edge. He realizes he won't get the edge. He puts his left foot in the ground and just bangs that thing in there. It does two things. It gets him a couple of yards, sets up a 2nd and 5, and it keeps the clock moving. Doesn't go out of bounds, doesn't stop the clock.
Jennings now 9 carries, 37 yards. On 2nd down, Quinn swings the ball. Running through one tackle is Michael Gaines, who was with the Lions last season, acquired by the Browns to play tight end.
Remember earlier in the game, William James got hurt trying to hit Jamal Lewis. And it's William James that comes up and tries to hit Gaines down right here. And he drops like a sack right there. That's a big old tight end to try to tee up.
Michael Gaines, 270 pounds worth of big. He's from Central Florida also. And this is the 2nd time that William James has been dinged today. If you're with us at the outset, he was hurt on covering the opening kickoff.
And that time it looked like he got a stinger. That particular time he squares Gaines up. He hits him. That's a form tackle. That's form tackle interruptus. He gets about halfway through it, doesn't wrap the hands, and everything just sort of stops.
And William James comes away from the whole thing smiling. He loves it. Now 3rd and short again for the Browns, down by 2 in the 4th quarter. The ball's at their 45-yard line.
Mass substitution here for the Lions. Bringing Sammy Hill, 79, inside as a defensive tackle.
Because they've gone to the Wildcat formation, Cribbs ready to take the shotgun snap, and he hands off. And the linesman come in. It looks from initially like a first for a good spot for the Browns. Turk McBride stops. Handoff was to Jamal Lewis.
Yeah, I'll tell you, inside with Alex Mack and company, Steinbach and Hadnot and everybody. I mean, they're just doing a nice job on these short yardage situations of finding the middle of the defensive players, giving their back somewhere to go, just giving them a soft spot in the defense, whether it's a running back or a quarterback. You see that yard markers right on the yard line, right on the 46. I think it's the first down by about a half a ball.
It is a first down for the Browns as they drive on, down by 2, 8:50 to go. 31-29. Browns led early 24-3 in this game in the first quarter. Well, there's some hitting today, though, Randy.
Absolutely, Don. And pretty basic stuff, hasn't it been?
It has.
For the last quarter or two out of this offense, not a lot of stuff down the field.
Toss pitch. Lions stone it. Jennings nowhere to go. Good defense by Detroit.
Well, you run that quick flip out like that. You try to get man. You try to get an advantage with men on the outside. Just get one more guy than they can pursue inside. You get a couple of quick blocks and you got a big run. But that was a very nice job by the Detroit defense, stringing that out and forcing Jennings to cut it back inside.
2nd and 10. You have to wonder, will Brady Quinn unleash the long ball like he did in the first quarter? Timing pattern, well executed. Massaquoi inside the 45-yard line of the Browns, of the Lions. White makes the stop.
Just short of the 49-yard line, or the 44-yard line. Nice job, though, by Brady Quinn of recognizing the blitz. Massaquoi is alert. He knows it's a hot read. He knows the ball's coming quick. He's looking for the ball. The ball's delivered. Another 3rd and short.
Yep, 3rd and a foot. Lions jam the front. They had a QB sneak earlier in this drive by Quinn for the first down. Brady Quinn, he's got it. But there's a penalty marker. Browns pointing at the Lions saying they were offside. But
lined up offsides, I believe. Lined up in the neutral zone.
Offside, defense number 97, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, First down.
I'll tell you, big Floyd Womack's in there at right guard, working with Mack, and they did a very nice job just of softening up that side of the defense. Gives Brady Quinn, it doesn't seem like much, but you see that little soft spot in the middle. There are no legs. There's no charge into the lower body of Brady Quinn. He's able to just move forward. It's a good job inside in a situation everyone knows it's coming.
Here's Quinn taking a look. There it goes down the field. Broken up beautifully. Massaquoi the target. Philip Buchanan, a former high #1 draft choice of the Raiders, breaks it up.
Watch Buchanan come underneath Massaquoi.
Boy, that's really...
And I think if his left hand wasn't holding Massaquoi on the back, he could have gotten the other hand around and caught the ball. Did I say hold?
Well,
it got caught up on the back of his jersey.
Something happened. Second down now and 10. The Browns have converted 3 3rd and 1s in this drive. Pattern, blockers in front. Cribbs goes to work, leaping over Dillon. He's not done. He might take it in. Cribbs is all the way down to the 5-yard line and out at the 4. Sensational play by the Browns, a 35-yard gainer. And another Lion is shaken up.
That's Buchanan again. That was a beautiful job of blocking. A couple of opportunities to make tackles by Detroit, but execution was nearly flawless, Don.
It was actually excellent play. 35-yard gain. Don Criqui with Randy Cross back at Detroit. Browns down by 2. 6:42 to play in the game.
Best sustained drive for the Browns since the first quarter. Excellent play calling by Brian Daboll.
Handoff. Holding on is Jamal Lewis. Those Lions hunting the ball. It'll be 2nd and goal. Big Sammy Lee Hill, the rookie, a 330-pound defensive lineman, makes the stop.
Yeah, it wasn't real pretty. Sammy Lee Hill, he just, as you might say, got a hold of Jamal Lewis by the waist and just yanked him up in the air. Even Jamal couldn't run through that one.
Sammy Lee's been a pleasant surprise for the Lions. They thought he might be a practice squad player the first year. He's a starter. Brady Quinn now in the shotgun on 2nd and goal. Timing throw. Incomplete to Mike Fury. 3rd and goal.
Oh, Brady Quinn's not happy with himself.
No, that was an errant throw.
He was off. He puts it on the left hip again. Zip it into the body. You can't throw it behind the receiver there. You've got to get it into the center cut of the body at least. It'll get there before the linebacker. A receiver like Mike Fury, Furry's going to catch it.
Number 65 is an eligible receiver. 65 eligible.
Eric Steinbach is an eligible receiver on this play.
Lined up at the left tight end.
The Lions know it also was announced to the house. Power set, triple tight ends. Play fake. Quinn looks, goes, caught, touchdown Cleveland. The Browns take back the lead. The ex-Lion Michael Gaines on the receiving end, and now I would think that Randy, the Browns go for 2.
Yeah, they're going for 2 right here. Michael Gaines, what a beautiful job fighting through the tackle. Brady Quinn fades and fades, evades and evades. Vinny Churchill's trying to make the tackle, but talk about Gaines at 6'2", 270. He won't be denied that spin back into the end zone inside the pylon.
But stay tuned, we're not done. Quinn's 4th touchdown pass of this day. And Matthew Stafford has thrown for 4 scores for the Lions. Browns lead by 4, looking to extend to a... They get it.
Beautiful direct snap to Jamal Lewis.
Brady Quinn and Derek Anderson, good friends despite the guys vying for the starting quarterback position, which Quinn has for the 2nd time this season, and he's thrown for 4 touchdowns today, and the Browns are back in the lead. A wild game. 51 first half points. Randy. Here is the kickoff hit downfield. Ooh, an expensive mistake there.
That is a big error, kicking that ball out of bounds. Big error.
Huge.
Ball will be placed at the 40-yard line. First down.
The Lions will start at their 40.
In Stafford, 17 of 29, 345 yards, 4 touchdowns and an interception. And he's got great field position here, Don.
And it looks like the Browns are going to blitz. They do. Here they come at him. He throws, and one thing about the blitz, it leaves gaping holes in the defense, and Northcutt finds the spot, and he's ahead for a gain. Clock running, 5:32 to play. Lions have to get in the end zone. This might not, if they do get in the end zone, that might not be the last score today.
Yeah, what they need to do defensively, Cleveland, they need face pressure. They need pressure between the guards in Stafford's face, not so much on the outside.
Calvin Johnson. Out pattern. The Browns, he goes short, though, to Northcutt. I think he's going to go over. You have to think over the top towards Calvin Johnson before long. Checks down. Eric Mangini shouting out instructions to his defense.
As long as you've got that threat, and that's not an implied threat, that's a real threat of Calvin Johnson at the bottom of your screen. It opens up a lot of things, 3, 4, 10 yards down the field.
Third and a long one. Stafford runs, and Stafford puts his head down. He is
just short, I think.
Yeah, the linesman comes in. They do have it just short. Had to get to midfield. That's where the yard marker is.
It's going to be about a football short.
4:28 left to play. Mangini and his Browns, who led 24-3 in the first quarter, then fell behind, now holding to a 37-31 lead.
Well, they're going to measure, but the yard to gain, like you said, is right at the 50, and this ball is going to be about a half a football short of the 50-yard line.
So fourth down arises for Jim Schwartz and his Lions.
Well, remember what you have inside for this Cleveland Browns defense with Shaun Rogers and Corey Williams. You've got some serious beef in there if you're Jim Schwartz. If you're going to sneak it or you're going to run anywhere between the tackles, you're going to have to deal with Rob Ryan's big physical defensive tackles.
And big physical starts with the huge nose tackle, Shaun Rogers. He is a defensive line himself. They empty the backfield. Head down. One linesman has it, Randy. One does not as they come in from the side.
The near side linesman has it right on the 50. If they mark it with this left foot, it's going to be a first down.
The tension mounts at Ford Field in Detroit.
Yeah, Tony Viteri, the near side head linesman, he had his foot right on that 50-yard line. It's going to be a first if the ball's marked where his foot was.
I think it's a first down for the Lions.
It's not going to be by much. I mean, the stick is going to come in. It will brush the front of the ball, but it's going to be a first down.
Lions are needing a touchdown to take back the lead.
It's going to be about a wallet first down. By about a wallet.
Yeah, a wallet with very little money in it.
Well, haven't you been reading the news lately? Nobody's wallets are full.
Right. Jim Schwartz, impassive. He's a very animated guy when you meet with him and talk to him. He brings a lot of enthusiasm to it.
Good second effort, though. See the feet of Matt Stafford never stopped twisting, never stopped turning, never stopped driving.
Bob Ryan, one of the twin sons of the former Bears coach, Buddy Ryan. His twin brother Rex, of course, the coach of the Jets. And here is a nicely thrown ball to Pettigrew, one rookie to another. Stafford, Brandon Pettigrew.
Nice snag by Pettigrew, wasn't it?
Very nice.
He threw that ball down about his knees.
He can block, too, this kid.
He never much bent over. He just sort of snatched his hands down, grabbed that thing, and went forward. Got himself another first down.
And get out of bounds. Clock is stopped with 3:49 to play.
Was there motion that drew Corey Williams off? Because no one moved but Corey Williams. And the flag came in after he came across.
False start.
Yep.
Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Now's Sherilis, the right tackle.
The right tackle. Did you see that the little hesitation? I mean, it wasn't much, but it was just a subtle settling backwards. And Corey Williams saw it and came across.
Yeah, Corey helping officiate the game. He pointed that out.
As I say, the more you can do, the faster you wear out.
Right now, with doubleheader games coming up, we still have 3:49 to go at Detroit. First down, out of time. There's the long ball. Coverage looks very good. Looks like a pick. It is. For the second time today, Matthew Stafford is intercepted by the Browns. This time it's Brodney Poole. And the Browns take over the ball with a 6-point lead and 3:40 to play.
Watch Brodney Poole come out on the left side of your screen. He is tracking this ball as the receiver, catches it at its highest point, goes way over the top. That's Calvin Johnson, and he goes way over Calvin Johnson to get that ball.
And that is a great defensive football.
Well, that's basically being a receiver. You always hear about catching the ball at its highest point, don't you?
Yeah,
that's exactly what he did.
He had an interception earlier this season against Cincinnati, and that was the Browns' only interception up until today. He had problems intercepting. And now they'll try to run clock. Lions with 2 timeouts. Browns with 2, but the last thing they want to do is stop the clock.
Yeah, you don't want to get really conservative here if you're Cleveland. You obviously need your offensive line to bow up at this time and take this game over. But if you're the Cleveland Browns, you're looking at a 6-point lead. 3 minutes approximately by the time this next snap occurs. Handful of first downs here. You could salt this thing away. But you get too conservative, you're going to give them the ball back with some time left on the clock.
And they got the guy with a deep arm that can give them the lead back. He missed on a long ball, threw an interception, and Browns run hard. Jamal Lewis pounding away all day long. That's his 22nd carry.
Second charge timeout.
Nice job by Louis Delmas coming in there and cutting Jamal Lewis down.
So Stafford sits and waits, hoping for another crack at it. Third down. Lions are looking for a stop and to get the ball back. Brady Quinn throws, connects, caught, first down, Cleveland. Chancey Stuckey's been making plays all day, and he's ahead for a first down catch of 13 yards on third down.
That was a very nice job by Chancey Stuckey. Almost perfect. You fight. Don't go out of bounds. You know you've got the first down there. Try to go down. Do everything you can not to stop this clock.
Quinn now 21 of 32 throwing for 304 yards and 4 touchdowns. No turnovers. Stafford's been intercepted twice. Browns now running clock. They pounded out to the 40-yard line.
Third and final charge timeout, Detroit.
So the Lions take their final timeout. Hoping for another shot at it.
Remember, the clock will stop again here at the 2-minute warning. But so far, Brady Quinn has had that gain that the Browns fans have wanted one of their quarterbacks to have. Remember a couple years ago in 07, Derek Anderson in this offense did some pretty nice things. Since then, it's been a long drought. Quinn 21 of 32 for 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, and more importantly, he has 0 interceptions, while Stafford on the other side has 2.
Including on the Lions' last possession, Matthew Stafford, rookie from the University of Georgia, #1 pick in the entire draft. Second down coming up in a long 6, almost 7. Good tackling. White makes the stop after another Lewis carry.
You know, Don, remember we talked about at the very beginning of this game, the last 5 games for the Cleveland Browns, what they had done, 427 yards in 5. That's not a typo.
No.
In 5 games, 427 yards. So far, 308 for Brady Quinn. And you sit down and talk to this kid, and he was in a high-profile spotlight at Notre Dame, obviously, with 4 years there, a couple of years under Charlie Weiss, and came as a late first-round draft pick. A lot of expectations. I didn't think going into yesterday that he'd ever really gotten the proper shot.
With Randy Cross, I'm Don Criqui back at Ford Field in Detroit. Brady Quinn throwing 4 touchdown passes today to 4 different receivers. Massaquoi, Stuckey, Cribbs, and Gaines.
Empty. Here comes the blitz.
He gets rid of it. Throw off target. And the Lions will get it back.
1:57 left and no timeouts. But almost 2 minutes left. That's pretty good stuff if you're the Detroit Lions and Matt Stafford. And you show that empty look, you're begging them to blitz. Peterson coming from the outside distracts Quinn just enough. That ball well wide, I should say.
And it is the ex-Brown Dennis Northcutt back. Nearly blocked. Tremendous punt again, hit downfield by Reggie Hodges. Northcutt up down at the 12. So the Lions, if they're to come back and win on their home field, are up against it. 47-yard punt. There's been terrific kick coverage all day. Just a 2-yard return. No team has ever gone 2-32 over a 34-game period. That's in the history of the league. So the Lions are currently 2-31 over their last 33 games.
Yeah, those ever stats. That's a long time. Ever.
That's
like no face mask, leather helmets ever.
Almost back to no helmets at all.
That was rugby, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was rugby and the Decatur Staleys, a couple guys. Here's a snap. Rush coming off the back foot and a connection. Calvin Johnson taken down by Abram Elam, but it's a first down for the Lions.
Man, Corey Williams got right in Matt Stafford's kitchen. I mean, right in his body. Hits him right around the waist. He's giving him pressure, and Stafford still manages to throw a fall-away jumper right on the money.
It's amazing how many he's completed off his back foot. Another check down, and catch out to the 29, and the clock running. The Lions powerless to stop it with a timeout. They need a touchdown.
This defense will keep giving you short gains as long as you promise on throwing the ball inside into the middle of the field.
Yeah, the Browns playing cover 8. They're rushing 3. They let him run. Sidearms the ball. First down. Out to the 46 to Calvin Johnson.
50 now, under 50. Spike the ball.
17 yards in that last play, Randy. And now he has 3 downs after he spikes it and stops the clock.
Well, you've got 43 seconds, and you've got some big physical receivers on the outside. As good as the quick guy like a Fury is, Northcutt is, having Brian Johnson and Calvin Johnson especially, no secret, Rob Ryan and Eric Mangini don't want this ball to get anywhere near Calvin Johnson if they can help it, and they'll allow for it defensively.
He's at the top of your screen, Calvin Johnson. Stafford fires hard, makes a connection, gets his tight end, Pettigrew, and he has a first down to the 43.
Under 35 now. It's going to be about 27-28 by the time they kill this.
What a game. 27 it is, 27 seconds left. Lions need to score a touchdown. Field goal is useless, down by 6. But they've shown they can come back in this game. They were down 24-3 in the first quarter to the Browns. Hey, these teams might come in 1-8. There is a lot of really good football players out here.
Well, neither one wants to be 1-9.
No.
And they're fighting like it right now. You can afford another pass inside. One more pass inside, given it's not too far down the field.
Something's going over the top, though, pretty soon. The long ball. This is a guy who can deliver it. Incomplete. We asked him if he played baseball. He said, yeah. I said, well, you a pitcher? No, he's a shortstop and a little bit of a catcher.
Think he could go deep in the hole and get it to first base all right?
And it's so effortless the way he releases the ball. I mean, I talked to some of the Giant personnel people, and they weren't looking for a quarterback with Eli Manning, but they said he has what we call rare arm strength. And worried about that rare arm strength is Rob Ryan and the Browns defense. Third down coming up.
Question of whether or not they're going to try to stick this thing in that hole to Calvin Johnson.
First down throw. Got the clock ticking.
13. It's going to be 9 or 10 by the time this is killed.
Wow, 8. Down to 8. So you really only have one shot deep, don't you?
You've got 2 shots, unless all those stories we hear about people's speed isn't true. I'm thinking from the 32-yard line, you can get into the end zone or right near the end zone twice.
Boy, that would take some doing, but we'll see. These guys are fast.
Well, remember, you've only got to do it, maybe take 5 seconds to run this play.
He's going to get time because they're going to rush 3.
You have to get out of bounds. If you're not scoring here, you've got to get out of bounds.
Here's Stafford. Clock ticking down. On the run. He's in trouble. Stafford trying to elude a sack. He's going to let it fly. He has to. Still alive. Ball to the end zone. Jump ball. Intercepted by the Cleveland Browns.
Flag. 2 flags.
Interference call. The game cannot end on a defensive penalty.
And it was in the end zone.
Oh, man. Stafford shaken up. He's up.
Pass interference.
Rob Ryan is
Defense
up.
number
He's about 20 yards onto the
Foul
field.
good in the end zone.
Well, they're calling it on
Ball
Detroit.
replaced at the 1-yard line.
Stafford's hurt.
First down.
This pass interference is against the Cleveland Browns. Matt
Detroit
Stafford.
is charged with the first
it is against the Browns.
timeout due to injury.
We thought originally, and here's Stafford. Now he gets hurt on his.
And
oh man, he's driven into the ground hard.
The ball is intercepted, but the pass interference is against Cleveland.
Look at this. So now it's going to be with no time on the clock.
Shoulder.
One play for the Lions.
Dante Culpepper's at quarterback.
You win it or lose it. Yeah, he had to come in. He's not warmed up as Stafford was hurt on the play. This is it. This is the game.
Timeout. Cleveland. 30-second timeout.
And now the Browns want a defensive timeout to take a look at what the opportunities might be for Dante Culpepper, who comes in off the bench, never threw a warm-up throw. Stafford was hurt, and Eric Mangini in heavy protest. You know what a game this has been.
Now right here is when Stafford gets drilled
taken down
into
hard.
the turf.
Oh boy!
Again, it was Mosley just pounding him in. You got to think maybe that it's that left shoulder collarbone area.
He's up. He's looking better now. Fortunately, what is going to happen now? These two teams battling for respectability, really. 1-8 coming in.
Don, my question is,
Stafford's back.
They called the penalty on Cleveland. Then they said they charged Detroit a timeout, an injury timeout. They didn't have any timeouts.
So this is it. One last play for the Lions and for the Browns.
Wow.
Detroit gets it in. They win it. Cleveland wins it with a stop. 1 yard to gain. Throw. Touchdown, Detroit. They did it. The Lions came back and did it. If they hit the extra point, which is a 90% plus possibility of success.
Boy, Matt Stafford's left shoulder is really hurt. And Detroit has to get off the field. And he sticks this right into his young tight end. Right in front of Trusnick. Oh, that's got to be killing him. It's right on that, right in that collarbone area where he got crunched down. But what a comeback.
What a game. What a heartbreak for the Browns. A tremendous effort. But the Lions find a way back. They were down at one point by 21 points. And that was in the first quarter. Extra point is good, and the game is over. The Lions beat the Browns 38-37.
That is heartbreak for the Cleveland Browns. If I was Eric Mangini, though, I'd want an explanation. I know about the pass interference, but then the official McCauley announced that there was an injury for Detroit and they were charging them a timeout, but they didn't have any timeouts. That would have been a runoff in that case.
So the 5th touchdown pass of the day by Stafford decides the game on the last play.
Remember, that 5 touchdowns for Matt Stafford, according to our sources, makes him the first rookie quarterback in the history of the league to have 5 touchdown passes.